Return of Hyperborea. Part 1. Hello. As early as February, we will see the return of Hyperborea and the Mentor as part of the new season in Crossout. Even at the first glance at the new parts, it's safe to say that the engineers from the north didn't waste any time. Today, we will start revealing to you the most interesting secrets of the upcoming novelties. We remind you that all the new features described in the developer blog are not final and may be changed before they are introduced into the game or may not make it into the game at all. This applies not only to information about possible unique features of new parts, but also to the appearance of the parts themselves. New Legendary Engine. While the, so far, one-of-a-kind Legendary Engine is designed more for heavy builds, the novelty from Hyperborea will appeal primarily to enthusiasts of fast cars. The new engine doesn't give such a significant bonus to the mass limit and power like Pegasus, but it significantly increases the vehicle's tonnage and gives a significant increase to the maximum speed of the mounted cabin. When creating this engine, the engineers of Hyperborea definitely wanted to make the perfect version of the Oppressor engine. How successful were they? The final verdict will be up to you, survivors. But its perk already sounds promising. While the epic Oppressor only boosts the rotation of weapons, the new engine will increase the accuracy of weapons and their damage resistance, depending on the current speed. Those who can reach a speed of 110 km per hour will receive the biggest bonus. Legendary Invisibility Module. The realities of the battles in the valley leave their mark on the Northerners as well. The never-ending ambushes of raiders attacking, out of nowhere, force you to adapt in order to survive. The Hyperboreans have surpassed all existing developments, the result of their extensive research and countless vehicles destroyed by unstable modules is truly impressive. Meet a Legendary Invisibility Module. As we all know, the familiar chameleons allow us to hide from the enemy's eyes for a very limited amount of time. There are many cases when you lack literally a couple of seconds to take the most advantageous position for an attack or to get to the coveted cover. With the new module, you will have the opportunity to independently control its operation. Just imagine. Need to hide just for a second from homing missiles flying in your direction? No problem, activate the module, evade the rockets, disable the invisibility mode and move on. After a few seconds, the module will be ready to be used again. Enemies have spotted you from afar and there are no covers nearby. With a regular chameleon, it will be quite difficult to hide or get to them unnoticed, due to the module's short active time. With the new module, you will have as much as 30 seconds, which you can use as you wish and get right to the opposite side of the location without any problems. That's right, the module will have a limited resource of operation, which will be spent as long as the effect is active. The dreams of infinite invisibility are still dreams. After the death of another brave man who dared to test the limits of the module, the Hyperboreans decided to make a compromise. And yet, this resource can be increased at the cost of your safety and to the delight of your opponents, who like to target explosive modules. But we'll talk about that in the next blogs. We will also discuss the weapons which can literally make one feel the cold of the vast northern lands. Also, seems kinda silly to boost weapon durability at high speed, because if you are fast, your weapons are already hard to hit. And when heavy builds will get their damage resistance on weapons? Sad cat with mammoth getting lasered.jpg. Precisely. Oh, so light builds will now be faster and have better weapon protection. Track/ML200 users can pound sand. Awesome. Great. I'm relieved to hear that this engine will buff the damage resistance of weapons. Maybe Targem did hear us after all. These are good news pleading face. Track builds will benefit immensely from it. They might even become viable, but the perk needs to be tweaked slightly for that to happen. Here is my suggestion for the new legendary engine: the slower you move the higher the damage resistance to weapons. Maximum bonus at 0 km per hour. The faster you move the higher your weapon accuracy becomes. Maximum bonus at 110 km per hour. See, now it has a two-faced perk. One that will benefit two playstyles depending on speed. You move fast and you get accuracy but not weapon damage resistance, vice versa. LOL makes much more sense. And it will also benefit light builds, because their weapons will become harder to destroy if they get stuck, and considering how buggy the collisions are in this game, I don't think it'll be too unbalanced. But in reality it will be abused by spiders and hovers. They'll just slap an Omamori and will be able to tap strafe, yet benefit from the perk almost fully. The new engine makes me sad. Increased gun accuracy and resistances based on how fast you're going. Why can't heavy builds have nice things? I really don't understand their logic here. Fast dog builds are already annoying enough, and if you land a hit on them while they're driving 120 km/h it actually feels pretty rewarding. Have to say that I'm not liking the implications that all of this has for the game's balance. While the epic oppressor only boosts the rotation of weapons, the new engine will increase the accuracy of weapons and their damage resistance. So it's going to increase rotation speed, resistance and accuracy? Bloated perks are not good game design. Those who can reach a speed of 110 km/h will receive the biggest bonus. Players have been asking for track buffs, primarily a way for them to deal with weapon stripping, yet this cuts off even small tracks from getting the full bonus. The devs are straight up trolls. The logic of this perk doesn't track either. Why would the Hyperboreans, who lives in a Arctic northern region, be using things that reaches 110 km/h? There are many cases when you lack literally a couple of seconds to take the most advantageous position for an attack or to get to the coveted cover. Which is a good thing. Getting close is not supposed to be easy and it's already easier than it should be. And yet, this resource can be increased at the cost of your safety and to the delight of your opponents. I like that the cloak has limited uses, but its ammo module is going to have quite a few downsides to be enough to keep it balanced. We will also discuss the weapons which can literally make one feel the cold of the vast northern lands. Please no speed debuffs. Something like resistance debuff would be better balanced and could serve as a potential Omamori counter. What bothers me the most oddly enough is the lore. The Hyperboreans aren't known for their fast race cars. And the engine is huge, like a ship's engine block, comprised of cast iron and steel piping. It honestly feels like the perks for this and the Pegasus should be switched. Now onto the feedback. The new engine makes tracks even more redundant, as you can't get its full perk with their speed limit. This could be flipped, however, to make tracks viable again, at least a bit. Have this engine increase the speed limit for tracks to 110 km/h to fully utilize the perk. The Hyperboreans are known for their heavy tracked vehicles, after all. Now if this change goes through, which I doubt it will, another change should come for the Golden Eagle. Its perk is already niche enough for such a large engine. Nomads are known for aircraft and flight, so have their engine complement rotors or flight in some way. Tracks will then get a buff, while the Golden Eagle will have a worthwhile use. Also, I wonder if the invisibility module can be resupplied in raids? I agree with Moon here, this engine makes no sense for the Hyperboreans. They live in a region where speed is a luxury because the cold takes such a toll on all of their equipment. This thing should be boosting utilitarian stuff, not raw speed. Adding 25% extra speed to a heavy vehicle can be as useful as adding 25% max speed to a light vehicle. Don't need a race car to feel nice about your Ermac Polar Explorer getting faster. Personally, I can't wait to put this new engine on my Mastodon heavy build. I doubt that dogs would use it that much as they would lose Pegasus' massive mass limit increase. I can't wait for melee builds to cloak at the start of the game and reach me without exiting invisibility for even a second. Some of them practically do that already, but don't worry, the Hyperboreans will now appear in your bedroom to inform you that your sleeping position was shit. They're gonna need to bring ammo boxes or more hopefully fuel barrels, so just gotta coat your teammates in incinerator spam. Dogs already use like 3 or 4 purple ammo boxes, 2 in the front as armor and 1 or 2 in the back as backup ammo/armor, though it could be an interesting situation if the new cloak used microfactories. Fuel barrels explode fast and do a lot of damage like gas gen if they touch fire. Engine is basically built for hovers and light cabs. You may as well make a Hyperborean light cabin, and a new rapid-fire MG hovers top out at 85 and 75. You won't see the perk, and without buggy wheels to buff hovers the efficiency of the module will go down. And yes, you could reduce the number of hovers due to the increased tonnage, but why? Most hovers use 5 to 9 hovers max unless you're a bot, so kind of pointless. It's made for low clearance movement parts. Tracks can abuse buggies to reduce his perk activation if you're a dead set track player. Leg builds can reduce the amount of legs due increased tonnage, and that in turn increases reactivity of the build, which in all honesty is more important than going 120 kilometers. Might have a good reason to run that anti-stealth radar thingy now. They will still be available to cloak immediately afterwards, so you will only know their estimated position. So the engine does nothing for tracks since most of them are slow, and we're just gonna get more hover scum with the new engine and Omamori. Maybe all movement parts can get the accuracy perk, but resistance should be exclusive to tracks IMO. We're just gonna get more hover scum with the new engine and Omamori. I suspect it'll be used more by those ever-annoying Omamori shoddy builds. What in the fiery mommy Otagon are those modules? Who approved those cold Hyperborean bastards to hide and from our fiery dogs? The cocaine sniffing of developers, it's at another level. I don't know a single player that has any complaints about the invisibility modules being weak. Most of the people in my clan, myself included, and contact list think the chameleon modules are balanced, and a few think they're too strong or annoying to play against. But I have yet to meet someone who thinks, man, I wish there was a perma-invisibility module. Yeah, nope, not buying it. I'm going to wait for the fixes and balances first. The constant power creep is actually quite boring and unappealing. The game has been stale for the better part of 2 years. There is no longer any need to play raids, and the PvP is seriously boring to the point where nobody I know even plays much anymore. I did 2 raids yesterday and felt my brain start to develop an aneurysm from the immense boredom I was subjecting myself to. Happy that it's not a relic engine, lol, but why have so many items that increase accuracy? It's already easy for machine guns to disarm, etc. 30-second invis sounds super strong and will be annoying many Leviathan drivers in clan wars. At least getting more than 30 seconds is not automatic, it seems. While I'm here, do something about console cheaters using perfect fire rate mods or using keyboard and mouse with aim assist, etc. Been a huge problem for a long time. Also, do IP checks. Many players use different accounts in different clans, often in the top 10, blatant scoring/leaderboard manipulation, not to mention probably trading second account coins to their main account. Also, reduce the heating effect back to its original 3 seconds. There are too many lethal heating items in the game. It might have needed a buff when it was mostly Aurora, but there are many strong heat weapons/items now. Relic engine is next after they have 2 legendary engines to combine for it. 30 seconds cloak. Yeah, this game is doomed. It's just pure cash grab using overpowered items at this point. Could be 30 seconds for the entire battle. Limited use only. Dunno if it has a way to charge it or not, or add up the time for it. We'll see how it will work later on. Use it after a few seconds again, is literally in the post. Yeah, but it still has limited 30 seconds of use. It reminds me of a previous patch for Chronos that charge it up and use it again anytime anywhere. I didn't see it read anything about increasing it with modules. Never said anything about limited use, that's just you inferring right now. Hope for good weapons this time. I only want structure parts, to be honest. The engine seems promising, curious about its pin dimensions though. But a stealth module with ammo that can be expanded with ammo boxes to who knows how far. Imagine grabbing this module and 4 purple ammo boxes and disappear for 2 minutes straight. Incoming drone meta, I guess. Dunno guys, I have a bad feeling about this. I hope there'll be a hard cap at 60 seconds at most. About the cryo gun. Don't particularly like being slowed down, already hate the Tesla emitters perk, so not a fan either. I'm okay if active boosters can negate their effect though. And please don't make it range further than flames. I hope there'll be more structural for them, as well as their co-driver could be interesting, e.g. a perk for him, her to reduce own module explosion damage would be nice to be honest. I think the cryo gun would be that it makes parts more fragile, especially like shoot-through parts, or maybe like something anti-hover weapon that strips them down quickly. I am not sure, but could be one of the speculations. Oh, I can see some benefits with these on a Yokozuna. Oh dear God, I have the best idea ever. Another item to boost weapon durability? Combine it with an Omamori, and you have another reason for tracks to be thrown into the trash. Fix what we have, instead of giving us what we don't need. But saying that, an invisibility module, that lets you hide for as long as you want to hide, but having a limited ammo. That's scary. And this actually makes tracks worse, as they're unable to reach a high enough speed to fully benefit from this engine's perk. Yep, and I'm angry about that too. I thought they'd sell a solution, instead of fixing a problem. But nope. They just straight up made it worse. And boosted an already overpowered Omamori. The devs suck, hard. But, what can we honestly expect at this point? I'm still going to enjoy the way I play, as I'm more of an artistic PvP player, not a win chaser. But still, this entire game is starting to feel like a complicated sigh. Oh look. A cloaking module that is going to become absolutely essential. Buy our battle pass? Pretty please. I think this stealth module needs 2 points of power to get it balanced. And make it explosive as well when we are at it. I think it's gonna use either ammo boxes or fuel barrels to charge it above 30 seconds. I hope it's fuel barrels as they're more explodey and have no purpose. The perk of the engine sounds really bad, if anything I would expect the max resistance to be at low speeds. The accuracy perk can still scale up with speed. Heavy cabins are those that need the tonnage and speed and they cannot even reach 110 km per hour, weapons are more exposed when you are not moving. The cloak module sounds a bit too strong for the dogs that already got the Pegasus engine to become as huge as they please. Please consider reducing the active time. What I would like to see is a cloak that has a range that depends on distance traveled alongside time. This means that the duration drains slower if you stop to hide behind a corner. Engine is stupid idea. Holy fuck, you guys can't make good content. Get a new dev team in here. Me, sperm whale screech. This game sucks. Why are you making it so that only fast vehicles will get weapon protection from the engine? Everyone knows that the slower you are, the more at risk your weapons are, so why would you have the weapon protection benefit fast builds over slower builds? You're literally doing the opposite of what people are asking for. Tracks are looked down upon because your weapons are vulnerable because of how slow you are. Right. So now the camera steering, 500 plus km/h hovers with buried hitscan weapons on an Omamori, will now have even more damage resistance. Why build anything that isn't a fast Omni build or dog at this point? You get punished for trying to be different. Engine buffing weapons is very bad idea. You remade perks of engines long time ago, remember? It was BCS at pigeonhole builds to use that engine all time. Engines should be support for movement and not weapons. Devs, you are like idiots. PPL tell you to buff tracks there for over a year. You have chance to make engine support durability of weapon. What is wrong, Imho? But okay. And instead of make it support slowest/weakest/tracked vehicles, you make it for fast ones. LMAO. Even for lore reason of faction living in snow, it make no sense. I never seen such a idiotic approach. LOL, why they hate heavy builds like this? Please buff tracks and weight physics, because actually is pathetic. Any tiny car can easily lift a huge 23.000 kilograms tank. It's hilarious. Please don't force us to play rotors. Or just merge them to regular matchmaking. I hate separate queues and the greater than 2-minute matchmaking times. It wouldn't surprise me if a heli clan war was added. We have cars. We have leviathans. Why not aircrafts? They will definitely make a heli CW at some point. They already put too much resources into that movement mechanic to go to waste. You're not wrong. I'll bet that they'll add a module to overclock hovers, into a flying vehicle. New engine for cockpit builds? Splendid. I no longer need Omamori Grah. Pretty good, not gonna lie. I have given IP on this game, too much cancer growing on cancer and greed. Okay, that engine will make my heli absolutely broken. Will you be able to constantly stay cloaked and shoot with still wind? Also, cockpit breakers and Chronos destructors are gonna really benefit from that engine. While the, so far, one-of-a-kind legendary engine is designed more for heavy builds, the novelty from Hyperborea will appeal primarily to enthusiasts of fast cars. This sounds kinda silly since the most light cabin builds these days are using the Pegasus because it gives them 3.5 tons of extra armor. Makes dogs in CW way too tanky, for example. My wheeled Mastodon build, however, will make the most use out of this, though. Oh, cryo weapons finally. Imagine it's like a knot hung that shoots icicles, lol. 50 damage per shot, 6 shots per second. Nah, flip that engine perk so bonus goes away with speed. Legendary invisibility module will be a game changer. I just realized that what the devs are doing, it's that they are continuously challenging players and forcing us to adapt to new circumstances. Verifier will become a must, not a luxury. And I already can foresee all those crybabies spamming with "game is broken, game is unbalanced, pay to win," instead of properly preparing their builds for battles. Like, installing a radio, a radar, and starting playing as a team, not like a bunch of brainless scattered sheep. It would be awesome if we got some cool blueprints with it. Nerf Catlina, Destructor, and Cyclone, bring unique but hard-to-use weapons such as a Stroh's back, so dumb that in this game only if you rich you can have the real fun. Okay, I agree about the nerfs. But not only rich ones have fun in this game. I have many cheap builds between 50-100 and 80-100 PS and it's a lot of fun to play with. Mech legs, we've seen mobile. Can you change the module, so it will work only in a range of a turret placed before?